Welcome everyone to our AI on AI podcast, where today we dive into how well general vision language models learn medicine by watching public educational videos.
Thanks for the warm welcome. I'm excited to kick things off, especially considering the innovative pipeline that curates over 1,000 hours of biomedical videos from YouTube.
Absolutely. What strikes me is the multi-step human-in-the-loop process they used, mixing biomedical frame segmentation, caption refinement with GPT-4o, and then generating QA pairs, which is a technical marvel in bridging unstructured content with structured instruction tuning.
I agree, and the technical depth is impressive. Sampling frames at 1 FPS instead of 2 FPS allowed them to retain higher resolution imagery while keeping within token budgets, which is a clever tweak in adapting the Qwen 2 VL architecture.
And let's not overlook the clever use of a sliding window for frame segmentation, and how the SIGLIP classifier achieved an agreement of over 95% with human annotators. This sort of granular detail really elevates the data quality for biomedical tasks.
From a business perspective, the implications are huge. Imagine a radiology clinic being able to deploy a fine-tuned model that gains performance improvements of nearly 100% on some video tasks, potentially streamlining diagnostics and reducing human error.
That's a great point, Expert 5. This dataset, OpenBiomedVid, really fills an industry gap where diverse biomedical content has been hard to come by, right?
Exactly. What's fascinating is that despite the informal nature of YouTube videos, which mix live imaging with narration and diagrams, the model learns remarkably well. It's like learning from a masterclass that's been recorded over decades.
Building on that, the Qwen 2 VL models, once fine-tuned on such heterogeneous yet rich content, show substantial gains on video and image benchmarks, though text-only improvements were modest, which highlights that multimodal data scaling is key.
I want to deep dive a bit into the training process. The approach of using token-efficient methods like flash attention 2 and best fit decreasing algorithms for sequence packing is not trivial, and yet it allowed them to run the fine-tuning on 8 NVIDIA H100 GPUs in under 5 hours per model variant, which is quite efficient.
Yes, and even when you look at the evaluation benchmarks, Mimisi Cho QA and Surgery Video QA, the performance improvements are striking, with relative gains of nearly 100% for some video tasks, showcasing that real-world biomedical videos offer a rich supervision signal.
And let's not ignore the business angle here. Advanced models fine-tuned with this data could lead to new products in telemedicine and diagnostic support tools, reducing costs and democratizing medical expertise in underserved regions.
It's remarkable how the team overcame the challenge of noisy captions and complex video content. Using GPT-4o to both filter and enhance the captions was a clever move that ultimately raised the model's fidelity.
Absolutely. By cleaning captions and standardizing biomedical terminology, they ensured that the language aligns well with visual content, which is essential for multi-turn QA setups that simulate real clinical reasoning.
And let me add, a key insight was how they balanced visual and textual modalities. While the improvements on text benchmarks were less pronounced, the massive gains in image and video tasks indicate that these models are starting to understand procedural nuances and diagnostic imaging details.
I mean, imagine the analogy. It's like having a trainee watch thousands of medical lectures and live surgeries, where every frame and every spoken word builds up its understanding incrementally, even though the lectures themselves are not perfectly standardized.
That's a great analogy. Indeed, the model's ability to learn from the informal curriculum of educational biomedical videos underlines the potential for cross-domain transfer in VLMs, which was once considered nearly impossible.
From a strategic business view, this approach presents a scalable solution for continuous model improvement. The 80-20 rule applies here, where a relatively small boost in high-quality data can lead to disproportionately large improvements in diagnostic accuracy, which is vital in healthcare decision-making.
I love that perspective, Expert 5. Scaling up the technology could very well be a game changer for industry verticals such as medical imaging startups and hospital AI systems.
As we see, even with the limited scale of the fine-tuning dataset, the performance curves for image and video tasks kept rising steadily with additional data, suggesting that further expansion of biomedical video datasets could yield even more impressive results.
And technically speaking, the stratification of performance across modalities, X-rays, CT scans, MRI, shows that even with limited X-ray training data, the model still competes well, which is promising for future multimodal datasets.
I'd also like to point out that the use of expert-curated benchmarks like Surgery Video QA and Mimic QA is crucial. By anchoring evaluation in clinically relevant tasks, the researchers ensure that these gains translate into real-world utility rather than just academic benchmarks.
Precisely. This is where the integration of diverse biomedical content with structured QA models can bridge the gap between academic exercise and practical clinical decision-making, paving the way for next-generation medical AI systems.
And think about the potential partnerships. Imagine insurance companies and healthcare providers collaborating with firms pioneering this technology to drive down costs, improve patient outcomes, and even train medical professionals more effectively.
It's interesting how one could draw parallels to classic learning models. As Einstein famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." And here the model's learning from diverse, imaginative video content really proves that adage in a modern context.
I chuckled when I read that, because in a way, these models are like apprentices in a bustling hospital, absorbing practical know-how from real procedures rather than relying solely on curated textbooks.
Speaking of textbooks, the capability to derive structured understanding from raw, heterogeneous video data is akin to turning a messy set of lecture recordings into a comprehensive, standardized curriculum of medical knowledge.
And on the deep technical side, using techniques like 2D rotary position embeddings and employing multi-crop strategies to handle variable resolutions shows that the field is advancing rapidly, allowing models to adapt to the unique challenges of biomedical imaging.
I think one unexpected insight here is how modest improvements on text tasks signal that the real interpretative power of these models lies in their visual reasoning, where procedural and anatomical knowledge come to life in video form.
That's a great contrarian view, Expert 4. While many in business may put their bets on text-based models, the true value here is in the fusion of video and image data, which offers a more dynamic and context-rich form of understanding that could disrupt traditional diagnostic processes.
And let's not forget the human element. The paper highlights how clinician input during dataset curation plays a critical role in ensuring that the learning signal is grounded in reliable medical expertise, which is essential for both technical accuracy and business credibility.
Yes, the collaboration between domain experts and data scientists creates a virtuous cycle, a loop where improvements in data quality lead to better models, which in turn can provide more insightful feedback to further refine the dataset.
I also found the incorporation of multi-turn QA pairs intriguing. It's not just about superficial captioning, but making the model engage in diagnostic reasoning through questions that mimic real clinical examinations.
And that's where the technical nitty-gritty meets the real world. The ability of a model to answer questions on nuances like, what is the severity of left ventricular hypertrophy? Or, which imaging modality best captured the tissue abnormalities? Demonstrates robust reasoning that can be directly applied in clinical settings.
Right, and while there are limitations, the slight degradation on text tasks reminds us that no model is perfect. The roadmap is clear. Integrate high-quality, structured biomedical corpora with video data to push these models closer to state-of-the-art performance.
From the business perspective, such incremental improvements are not just academic. They translate into measurable gains in diagnostic accuracy, operational efficiency, and even reduced training times for healthcare professionals, which can drive significant cost savings over time.
Speaking of cost savings, it's almost humorous how the team managed to squeeze so much value out of public YouTube videos. It's like turning everyday educational content into cutting-edge AI training gold.
Ha, exactly. It's a clever, resourceful use of available data, and it shows that sometimes the best resources are already out there, waiting to be harnessed with the right techniques.
And as more domains look to replicate this success, we're likely to see similar data-driven transformations in fields beyond medicine, like engineering or even legal analytics, where detailed video data offers a rich training signal.
The key takeaway is that multimodal learning, especially in a complex field like medicine, requires both technical ingenuity and a careful curation process. This work is a perfect example of how to balance messy real-world data with structured learning objectives.
I think we're at the cusp of a revolution in biomedical AI. The implications extend from enhancing diagnostic tools to aiding in surgical training, and even in developing decision support systems that integrate seamlessly into daily clinical routines.
And strategically speaking, companies that can integrate these advances early on will not only lead in innovation, but also capture early mover advantages in high-stakes domains like healthcare, where every percentage point improvement can have life-saving consequences.
Wow, this discussion really highlights the multidimensional impact of using public educational videos for biomedical AI, touching on technical, clinical, and business aspects all at once.
Definitely. The blend of rich video data, advanced vision language models, and expert curation represents a pivotal shift that could redefine how we train and deploy medical AI systems.
And it's exciting because while we've focused on medicine today, the methodologies here could set a blueprint for other domains that require integrating diverse visual and textual data sources.
I'd say the future is bright. If we continue scaling up these datasets and refining the models, we might even see models that can provide real-time assistance during surgeries or rapidly generate diagnostic reports with unprecedented accuracy.
For those in the technical trenches and in the boardrooms alike, this convergence of technology and real-world application is not only inspiring, it's a call to action to invest in these multidisciplinary approaches.
In closing, from a business strategy standpoint, the potential for reduced healthcare costs, improved patient care, and enhanced training systems makes this a highly attractive area for partnerships and investments in the coming years.
And with that, we wrap up our deep dive on how vision language models are learning medicine from public educational videos. Thanks to all our experts for a truly insightful conversation, and thanks to you listeners for joining us today. Welcome back to part 2 of our discussion. Let's dive deeper into the technical implementation details and business applications of this breakthrough in biomedical AI.
Absolutely. Let's start with the engine under the hood. The use of a multi-step pipeline that blends human-in-the-loop segmentation, GPT-4o caption refinement, and QA generation. It's like assembling a high-performance engine from precision-made parts.
Right, and the technical aspects are non-trivial. Take the frame segmentation, for instance. The team employed a sliding window approach with a SIGLIP classifier fine-tuned to achieve over 95% agreement with human annotations, which minimizes noise and ensures only high-confidence biomedical frames are processed.
And don't forget the token efficiency techniques. They used flash attention too to restrict self-attention within packed sequences using the best fit decreasing algorithm. This approach dramatically reduces computation overhead when processing thousands of tokens from long video sequences.
I'd like to interject here. When you're sampling video frames at 1 FPS to preserve higher resolution, it's not just about cutting the number of frames. It's about keeping the quality intact so subtle imaging features aren't lost, which is critical for accurate medical diagnosis.
From a business standpoint, these technical improvements translate into faster operational times and reduced training costs. Imagine a hospital deploying these AI systems and cutting down the time required for preliminary diagnostic reports by over 30%. That's a big win in efficiency.
That's a perfect segue into the business applications. Can we talk about the real-world implications of such improvements?
Sure. In one instance, a healthcare provider used a similar model, fine-tuned on specialized data to streamline their radiology workflow. With quick turnaround times on image interpretation, they reduced the backlog by nearly half, which directly improved patient outcomes.
It's fascinating. In fact, the technology isn't just rescuing down times in hospitals, it's paving the way for telemedicine solutions. Rural clinics can leverage these models to capture and interpret imaging data, allowing remote specialists to provide real-time advice without the need for expensive equipment on site.
On the technical side, another deep dive is into how dynamic resolution processing is achieved. Instead of fixed 224 x 224 inputs, the system adapts its vision transformer, thanks to techniques like 2D rotary position embeddings, so that even if the video resolution varies widely, the model gracefully manages the differences without compromising on the detail needed for diagnosis.
And it's not just theory. The performance graphs we saw earlier indicate substantial accuracy improvements on MRI and CT modalities. This means that in practice, real-time applications in imaging centers could see higher reliability, leading to better patient care.
Precisely, and from the business view, improved reliability equates to lower risk and higher trust in AI systems. Investors are showing a keen interest in companies that can demonstrate these kinds of operational cost reductions in medical settings.
It's like tuning a high-performance sports car. Each component needs to be optimized, from engine to aerodynamics, to get the best overall performance.
Exactly. It's a holistic system where the data curation, advanced language models, and vision processing all work in tandem. For example, aligning temporal dependencies in video data using the multi-turn QA pairs is similar to how a seasoned professor might guide a student through a complex procedure step by step.
I must add that integrating GPT-4o for both caption cleaning and generating QA pairs is a stroke of genius. It supports the model in synthesizing complex clinical language into clear, objective descriptions that are essential for accurate visual reasoning.
And from an implementation perspective, imagine the software architecture. A data ingestion layer, pulling raw video from public sources, followed by a real-time segmentation module, then fed into transformer-based models that incorporate the fine-tuned modules for both vision and language. The orchestration here is quite sophisticated.
Yes, and with the use of gradient checkpointing and BF16 precision strategies, they managed to push down memory consumption during training on H100 GPUs, making these models more accessible even on high-end cloud platforms.
On the strategic level, the payoffs are enormous. A startup integrating such a system could partner with telehealth providers and insurance companies alike, offering a product that not only saves time, but also drives down operational costs by reducing diagnostic errors.
That's a powerful business narrative, turning advanced computational techniques into tangible financial and clinical benefits.
Let's drill a bit more into how the model's performance scales. The research shows that while text-only tasks see modest improvements, the image and video tasks benefit significantly from scaling the data. This implies that further investment in high-quality visual data is paramount.
It's a classic case of diminishing returns in some areas and exponential gains in others. For instance, even a small improvement in surgical video analysis could mean the difference between a successful procedure and a complication, especially during minimally invasive surgeries.
Additionally, the model's ability to stratify performance between modalities, like performing best on MRI images, teaches us that diverse, quality-controlled data is critical. It's like the difference between having a basic toolkit and a state-of-the-art diagnostic lab.
I also want to highlight one contrarian insight. While most discussions focus on optimizing visual tasks, the slightly degraded performance on text tasks is a reminder that domain-specific textual knowledge still requires dedicated strategies, perhaps through integrating more structured medical literature.
And that's where cross-industry collaboration comes in. Technology firms partnering with medical institutions to merge high-fidelity biomedical texts with video data can create next-gen models that truly cover the full spectrum of clinical data.
To put it in context, think of a retail company that used product image analysis and natural language processing to reduce returns by 15%. Similarly, in healthcare, improving diagnostic accuracy could translate into saving significant costs and even lives.
Exactly. And considering that the Open Biomed Vid dataset spans diverse modalities, from ultrasounds to CTs and surgical videos, it opens up the possibility of an integrated diagnostic assistant that cross-references multimodal data in real time.
Building on that, businesses could deploy such assistants in high-volume clinics to triage patient cases automatically, prioritizing critical ones for immediate attention, which could revolutionize emergency care responsiveness.
On the technical front, the efficiency of the sequence packing algorithm is a subtle yet impactful ingredient. It ensures that the massive data inputs from long-duration videos are processed without incurring prohibitive compute costs.
And this efficiency directly impacts cost-effectiveness. Faster training and inference mean lower cloud compute bills, which is crucial for scaling these solutions in commercial environments.
From a strategic investment view, companies that innovate on the efficiency front are in a better position to offer competitive subscription models to hospitals, making advanced AI diagnostics both scalable and affordable.
One last point. There's also huge potential in regulatory and compliance aspects. With robust, interpretable models, companies can better navigate the intricate regulatory landscape of medical devices and AI, which is often seen as a major barrier.
Absolutely. It adds a layer of accountability when models are developed with stringent curation and expert oversight, making them more acceptable to regulators and clinicians alike.
And that's where the collaboration between data scientists, healthcare professionals, and business strategists becomes pivotal, ensuring that every technical choice fits into a broader framework of clinical utility and commercial viability.
I'd say this discussion underscores the essence of modern AI implementation. It's not just about raw performance metrics, but how these metrics translate into real-world impact across technology stacks, operational budgets, and patient care standards.
And let's not overlook the potential for feedback loops. As models are deployed, the continuous stream of real-world data can be reintegrated into the training pipeline, driving iterative improvements, a win-win for both tech innovation and business efficiency.
Precisely. This is a dynamic ecosystem where incremental advancements can lead to significant competitive advantages in the market, offering early adopters a foothold in the rapidly evolving field of medical AI.
Wow, this deep dive into both the technical implementation and business applications has been absolutely enlightening, highlighting how a blend of advanced algorithms and real-world data can redefine healthcare diagnostics and drive business innovation.
It's truly a convergence of disciplines, technical ingenuity meeting strategic foresight, paving the way for a new era of AI-driven medicine.
And as we look ahead, the potential is staggering. Imagine predictive models that not only diagnose, but also suggest personalized treatment paths in real time.
That's the future, where every frame of a video and every word in a caption contributes to a richer, more accurate understanding of human health.
And with continued collaboration across domains, the possibilities for further innovation and improved patient outcomes are almost limitless.
In summary, the integration of sophisticated vision language models trained on diverse biomedical videos is set to revolutionize both the technical landscape and the business models of healthcare technology.
Thank you all for this captivating, in-depth conversation. It's clear that the fusion of cutting-edge technical strategies with real-world applications is paving the way for a transformative future in medical AI.
Thank you. This has been a fascinating discussion that really highlights the synergy between technical breakthroughs and their tangible impacts.
Indeed, it's exciting to see how far we've come and where we can go from here.
Looking forward to the innovations that lie ahead.
And to the partnerships that will drive these innovations into everyday clinical practice.
Here's to a future where technology and human expertise work hand in hand to revolutionize healthcare.
That's all for today's part 2. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the deep technical and strategic realms of biomedical AI. See you next time. As we near the end of today's discussion, let's take a moment to summarize and highlight the key innovations and insights we've shared.
In a nutshell, we've seen how a sophisticated pipeline combining human-in-the-loop segmentation, GPT-4o-based caption refinement, and dynamic QA generation forms a robust foundation for training biomedical vision language models using publicly available educational videos.
Exactly. And on the technical front, techniques like the sliding window segmentation with SIGLIP, flash attention 2-driven sequence packing, and adaptive resolution processing are game changers for maintaining detail in critical medical images and videos.
I'd add that our conversation underscored the importance of modality-specific performance. The models, for instance, excel on MRI and CT tasks, which illustrates precisely how targeted data curation can drive significant improvements.
And from a strategic perspective, these advancements are not just academic, they're transforming real-world healthcare. Imagine hospitals reducing diagnostic turnaround times by 30% and telehealth platforms empowering remote clinics with reliable image analysis.
On the business side, it's about turning these technical breakthroughs into operational efficiency and better patient outcomes, paving the way for partnerships with insurers and telemedicine providers to drive down costs and errors.
It's really akin to tuning a high-performance car, where every part, from data curation to optimization algorithms, must work in unison. And today's session has shown us that it's the interplay of deep technical insight with strategic execution that makes this possible.
Certainly. The integration of diverse biomedical content spanning ultrasounds, CT scans, surgical videos, and more creates an ecosystem that supports holistic diagnostic assistance in real time.
And let's not forget the subtle humor along the way, like when I quipped about inventing things just to confuse us, which reminded us that even in deep tech, creativity and storytelling matter.
Building on that, the iterative feedback loop, from real-world deployment back into training, is what will keep driving improvements. Much like the 80-20 rule, where a small subset of innovations can yield major benefits.
Ultimately, while our models might show modest declines in text-based tasks, they excel impressively in image and video domains, highlighting the targeted benefits of investing in high-quality multimodal data acquisition.
To sum up from a market standpoint, this convergence of precise technical methods and real-world impact sets the stage for a transformative era in medical AI, a future where efficiency, accuracy, and operational cost savings go hand in hand.
In wrapping up, today's conversation has taken us on a journey from granular algorithmic details through to business strategy and regulatory considerations, illustrating that the fusion of AI with biomedical education videos is not only feasible, but revolutionary.
It's the kind of convergence where technical ingenuity meets strategic foresight, redefining what's possible in healthcare diagnostics.
And looking ahead, this is just the beginning. There's tremendous potential for these models to evolve into comprehensive diagnostic assistants that empower clinicians globally.
Our discussion today truly demonstrates that every frame, every caption, and every insight is a building block for a future where AI-powered healthcare is more responsive and reliable.
With continued collaboration between engineers, clinicians, and business strategists, the next generation of biomedical AI won't just be a tool. It will be a transformative partner in patient care.
Here's to a future where these innovations lead to tangible improvements in efficiency, cost reduction, and ultimately, better health outcomes across the board.
Thanks everyone for joining this engaging conversation. Your expertise and insights have given us a comprehensive view of how advanced algorithms and strategic partnerships are set to reshape medical diagnostics. Until next time, keep innovating and stay curious.